Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. I'm a time zone, I started to say time zone junkie, but I'm a time zone, I don't know, I can't figure them out. I do usually know what time it is where I am, and that's what counts, right? I'm actually gonna share this because I feel like I have a clever setup going on, but I could be wrong. Thought this was going to be super easy to do. Let's see. Hey there, one person who's there. Sorry, I'm trying to share this to my other page and find it. There it is. Share to my timeline, post, and share to a group. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys what I did to get my health back, to reclaim my health as it were. And I have to say a few little disclaimers at the beginning. One, I know a lot of people have a lot worse health problems than I have ever even imagined. And so I want to say, like, a lot of people think that, not right now, honey, that, you know, people who believe in the law of attraction and spiritual alchemy and things like I practice think that it's your fault if you get sick. And I do not think that. I think that line of thinking is kind of a waste of time. I mean, yeah, if you like eat a whole crap ton of food that you shouldn't have eaten and a bunch of junk, or you just constantly don't take care of your body, you will get sick, and that's your fault. But I also feel like there are a lot of things that, you know, in life, it's kind of like the serenity prayer. You have to decide what you can control and what you can't. And, you know, a lot of people get these crazy illnesses, and I'm just not one who's going to say you attracted that to you. You know, there's a larger perspective outside of humanness that there may be a reason that we don't understand, but like fault and blame and try to figure out why, I think is like the worst waste of time. So my thought is, you know, this is where you are, so fault and blame are not important. What's important is responsibility, right? That doesn't mean you are responsible for creating your illness. That means you're responsible for how you react to it. And some illnesses, you know, we can cure and some we can't. And I mean, I know there are people who say that you can cure everything, and to a certain degree, I think you can. I've worked with people who were ill and they died, and I still feel like they got cured because on a spiritual sense, they were cured. But on a physical sense, it was time for them to leave. So anyway, before I go down that path too far, I just wanted to say that. So please don't think that I am saying that you're at fault for any of your illnesses. And just start where you are. You are where you are. And so also, second disclaimer is that what worked for me to reclaim my health may not be what works for you, but the techniques I used to find out how to reclaim my health can definitely work for you. Hey, Shannon. So there are 3 things for me that worked, and I'm going to tell you what all 3 of them are, first of all, and then I will tell you a little bit about each of them. And one is my spiritual practice. That's like first and foremost for me. 2 is intermittent fasting, and like I know that sounds really scary to a lot of people, but it's also very magic. It's crazy how cool it is. And for me, the 3rd one was CBD oil. So the first one, spiritual practice, I think actually for me getting out of alignment with my spiritual practice is what may have caused me to get sick in the first place, even though I just said, you know, don't sit there and blame it, it's your fault. But for me, I've had a spiritual practice for like so long, because my life went really wonky in my early 20s, which was quite a gift to me. Those of you who have never heard my story, I would just briefly tell you, I've always had a little bit of anxiety, depression issues, and at that time I was engaged to someone who had also anxiety, depression issues, and became schizophrenic and tried to kill himself in a lot of different very bad ways, and I was always the person who found that. So that kind of left me crawling on my knees to find some relief in my life. And that's when I was guided to a Unity church, and my spiritual practice has changed and merged, but I still always give thanks for that church and finding it and being guided to that. So from there, my spiritual practice has always been, and like I said, it varies, but it's definitely positive prayer and affirmations, and I throw in Reiki and a lot of other different things. But the heart of the matter is, like, I get to choose my mental state, and I get God, the universe, whatever word works best for you, that energy that created us all, to help me. And I also believe that my ancestors and other various spirits and angels and guardians help me too, but you don't have to believe any of what I believe, actually. But I do believe that a spiritual practice is a great way to heal your body, because you're not just a physical body. You have physical, spiritual, emotional, many parts to you that you don't even see. So working on those different levels definitely affects the physical. And for me, I can almost figure out when I started getting sick, because I was having a downtime, as we do. And I started telling myself, I had been in such a habit for a long time of giving myself really good messages to my brain, such as, I am alive, alert, joyful, and excited about life. Just all those kinds of things. But I had a bad day, and I started telling myself, not intentionally, but I started telling myself, I'm so sick, I'm so tired, I'm so sick, I'm so tired. So guess what? I did get sick and tired, and I really think a lot of that was my fault. But I had gotten to a place about 2 years ago where I'm teaching spiritual alchemy online, and I was just really struggling. I had no energy. I was depressed and anxious again. And I also just was falling asleep all the time. I had to set alarms to remember to get my kids. I was afraid that I was getting dementia or early Alzheimer's, because I would forget to do things and forget words, and I was always in this brain fog. And so for me, the first thing that I had to do to turn that around was to stop saying, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm scared, what's wrong with me, and start focusing back in on my spiritual practice. And like I said, you don't have to have a spiritual practice anything like mine, but I definitely, even if you don't believe in God, just go out and walk and clear your head every day. Put positive thoughts into your body, into your brain, because that is very healing. And beyond that, once you start doing that, that's kind of when you get guided, because you're coming more into alignment with yourself. You're seeing yourself as healthy and whole, and you end up being guided to what will work for you on the physical level too. I mean, sometimes you don't need anything else on the physical level other than to get your brain straight, get your spiritual life straight, get aligned with your soul and your higher self. Who knows what you came here to do? But sometimes you do. And to me, I think sometimes a lot of the things that we need in the physical, they're kind of like a prop. I think somebody was telling me the other day, the word permission slip, right? If I take this pill, I give myself permission to feel better. I think pretty much everything in the physical is like that, but we live in the physical, so it is what it is. So the first thing for me was definitely turning around that spiritual practice, and that made me start feeling a lot better. The brain fog wasn't nearly as bad, and I felt like I picked up momentum. But then I think it was probably about November, October and November of last year, I came upon a group, and the group was called Delay, Don't Deny. There's a book written by Jen Stevens. I am not an affiliate for her or anything like that. She's just amazing. Her group is so wonderful. The people in there are very, very supportive. It's not like a lot of the Facebook groups where there's a lot of catty craziness going on. So if you're interested at all in intermittent fasting, I came across it. I feel like it was like divinely guided for me. And even though part of me is like, oh no, I do not want to do that. It gives me so much energy. My brain is so much clearer than it ever was before I started doing it. And I still get to eat foods that I love. And it's like the magic pill for me as far as health goes. I just can't say enough, because when I'm not going to try to explain intermittent fasting, especially the science behind it, but I would start with Jen Stevens' group, Delay, Don't Deny. That's a free group. In fact, I'm going to put the link to it in here if I can. I thought I had it copied. So if you want to go to her group and check it out, Delay, Don't Deny is also the name of her book, which will, if you read it, it will explain it to you so well. Also, Dr. Jason Fung is I can't find myself to post this. Ha ha ha. Okay. Maybe I shall give up. Oh, wait a minute, here I am. Okay, so I posted that link if anybody's interested in that. It's a great resource for someone to try, especially lots of health problems. It can help pain in your joints, type 2 diabetes. For me, it helped the brain fog, it helped the energy. You can lose weight with it. I lost 17 pounds and now I've kind of settled in I still pretty much do the same thing, but I think your body knows what weight it needs to be at. So that is the second thing. So spiritual practice is 1, intermittent fasting is 2, and 3 is CBD oil. Even after doing the intermittent fasting, and I've always been a person who has anxiety and depression issues my whole life, and that's part of why I started into spiritual practice so early, because that helps a lot, a ton. Like meditation, if I don't do my meditation or if I stray off my spiritual practice, I will know it. But for me, I started taking the CBD oil. I have my prop, the one that I take, and I do affiliate for it because I never affiliate for anything. You'll see I very rarely, I share some classes, some products, but only ones that I actually use and I actually love. And this CBD oil is backwards, I guess, HempWorks. I'll put a link in there to the one that I use, and that it is an affiliate link. So if you purchase through that link, I will get part of the money. But it has just, for me, totally taken a huge edge off of my anxiety issues and that anxiety that runs in the background. I take it, my husband takes it, and he has a rotator cuff injury that used to give him so much pain he would take Lortabs for it. And he realized after about a month of taking it that he doesn't need them anymore. I give it to my kids, I give it to my dogs. My kids, I've been really blessed with pretty healthy kids. Some of them do have anxiety issues like me, and I feel like it's really helped that. It's really helped their energy. 2 of my girls have been trying to get to clean their rooms all summer, cleaned them. So I don't know, it just seemed like this magic thing that happened after they started taking the CBD oil. So for me, those were 3 things that really made a big shift. And I just felt guided to each one. Like it would pop up and I would just have that inner knowing, like this is for me. And so that's the thing that I would recommend for you. Like, maybe intermittent fasting is for you, maybe CBD oils for you, maybe it's not, maybe it's something else that you'll be guided to, but a spiritual practice is for everybody. That's my belief anyway. And like I said, my spiritual practice may be very different from yours. It may be very similar. If you're interested in knowing more about mine, I'm going to put another link up in just a second to my Gold Life Lab, where I teach alchemy classes, and we do a monthly experiment on different topics, but to expand and grow who we are and create what we want in our lives. Going back to that, like, what you get is not always your fault, but it is your responsibility to find the best way for you to manage what the cards that you drew. I mean, overall, I think that there's a reason that we all get what we get, but but I don't think that's like a fault issue and a blaming issue. So anyway, I will put the link there, and I want you to know that if you do go to the link, there are three free classes there on the homepage, and there are free PDFs and free audios and free ebooks on the freebies link page at the top. And so that is what works for me. And so I would encourage you, if any of those speak to you, to check them out. And if you have health problems that you're working on, or relationship problems, or any problems, just tune back into yourself and give yourself that self-care and that self-love and that time for spiritual practice, because that's the self-care too. Because sometimes saying that we don't have time to sit and meditate, or we don't have time to go out and take a walk through nature. I mean, everybody has a different way that they connect with God. So, and even if you don't connect with God, connect with that energy that we're all made of. There's some animating force here that you can connect with. So whatever feels good to you. But when you connect back into that, I feel like, and then just set an intention to be guided for what is right for you. It's different for everybody. We're all unique individuals, but I believe if we tap back in and listen to our higher self, listen to our soul, we know what's going to work for us. So go out, have a magical day, yeah, I'm going to actually put that in there before I close out. So if anybody has any questions, they can, but once I close it, then it's hard for me to get back to it again. Apparently it's still hard. And one other thing is, I know I have a lot of people from different countries on here. And so if you're not from the US and you're interested in the CBD oil, I will put a list of different countries that you can purchase it. And Canada is not yet on the list, but it is coming soon. So have a magical day, and may it be healthy and wonderful for you.